Story 1. I work in a hospital. The non-medical way we take care of this is prune juice mixed with apple juice. Put a small packet of butter in it and microwave until warm and the butter dissolves. Then have the constipated person drink it quickly. We call it a butter bomb. Story 2. My 1-year-old has joined the chat to say, "Dress me up in my best outfit and take me somewhere in the car." Story 3. Sugar-free Russell Stover chocolate candy. Go to the dollar store, get a small bag, and eat about 4 pieces. You will have a bowel movement shortly. Story 4. Ice cream or being stuck in a car or place with people, for hours or even 30 minutes. I get anxious and have to use the restroom really badly. Story 5. If you have already increased fiber intake, drinking more water, and using stool softeners, then I recommend using a suppository. It works quickly, usually within 15 minutes, and is very effective. Story 6. Water. Really, drink more water. If it is really bad, take some stool softeners too, but they work best with water. Story 7. Isocodil, a generic form of Dulcolax. 1 tablet every other Sunday seems effective to prevent issues. Dollar Tree offers blister packs of capsules, and 1 box costing $1.25 lasts almost 6 months. Having had 1 carotid artery treated and repaired, I am not supposed to strain during a bowel movement. Wouldn't that be a terrible way to die? Joe failed to have a bowel movement and died. Story 8. You can take fiber pills or some kinds of oil to get your stool moving. I also think apricots and summer fruits such as plums help as well. Walking or moving can stimulate your intestines. Story 9. A big order of pancakes with lots of butter and syrup with coffee and water. Cramming this much on the top puts pressure on the rest of the system to make room. Story 10. Colonoscopy preparation. On 1 job I was on, we used to administer colon lightly orally and a fleet enema rectally. Please do not attempt this without medical advice. Story 11. Coffee and a cigarette. I don't even smoke anymore, but it seems to still do the trick for others. Try a mimosa. They always make my tummy hurt. As if you couldn't tell, I am not a medical professional, but I would probably try a big green salad, lots of fluids, and a gentle laxative. Story 12. Apple juice. When I ate a salad every day, it went pretty well. It was an everything salad. I added lettuce, spinach, any leafy greens, carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes, sometimes grated apple and broccoli, something sweet like mango, a dressing with romaine, and a protein like chicken and cheese. Story 13. Getting a bad knee, which stimulates the sphincter, seems to work. Strong coffee is a close second though. Story 14. Try something like Calfig. It is gentle but effective. There are stronger options, but it is best to start with something gentle. It also helps to understand why you are constipated. Consider factors such as medications, not drinking enough water, or not having enough fiber in your diet. Story 15. I get Sunsweet ones, which are individually wrapped prunes. They are fresh and pleasant when not mashed together. Packaging like raisins is great for raisins, but for prunes, I do not want to chew on a dry, leathery piece, which is what I get unless it is the one style. I have 1 of those per day and regular coffee in the morning. Story 16. Castor oil in orange juice. I went 10 days without a bowel movement once after having general anesthesia, which happens every time I have it. After drinking that, which is the worst taste I have ever experienced, I was on the toilet in less than 10 minutes. Story 17. Prune juice. Papaya. Dragon fruit. In Asia, there is a type of herb used to make tea for this purpose. Alternatively, ask a doctor for a prescription. Story 18. If the situation is very bad, avoid the top-down methods and use the bottom-up solution. Buy a double enema kit from the drugstore and follow the directions. In short, do not let the problem worsen without taking this action. Then, begin using the top-down ideas. Story 19. Warm prune juice with a tablespoon of castor oil. Yes, it tastes as bad as you think, but as a chronic constipation sufferer, it has never failed me. Just do not use it all the time. It is the last resort. Story 20. Glass of hot water with a large piece of fresh lemon squeezed into it. The citrus oils in the skin and the enzymes in the white part help stimulate activity in the intestines. Story 21. Magnesium in liquid form, such as milk of magnesia, followed by psyllium husk powder, a splash of oil, and a glass of citric acid mixed with water that is heavy on the citric acid or vinegar. After taking all that, drink a couple of tall glasses of water, or the psyllium husk will not work. The magnesium causes your body to secrete more water in your intestines. This water turns the psyllium husk powder into a gel that pushes through your system. The oil helps lubricate, and the citric acid solution may convert some organic matter in your intestines into easily dissolvable citrates and provide extra acidity. The citric acid may not have strong scientific support, but anecdotally it seems to help. All the other components have a solid basis in science. Story 22. Prune juice, apple juice, coconut water, seeds including linseeds and chia seeds, coffee, dried fruit, dark leafy vegetables. Story 23. Aloe juice, magnesium citrate, psyllium husk, and you can add Kool-Aid flavor packets or caffeinated flavor shots. Mix 1.5 liters of aloe juice with 800 milligrams of magnesium citrate and 2 to 4 tablespoons of psyllium husk and the flavoring. Mix well. If adding caffeine, aim for 25 to 75 milligrams depending on your tolerance. Drink that over 30 minutes. Expect results within an hour. Story 24. Metal coat hanger. Just make a small loop at the end, then insert it and twist a few times, then pull it out. Story 25. Iced coffee from Tim Hortons, extra sweet. I think they put 2 extra pumps of the sweetener. In about 40 minutes, I need to use the bathroom. This is my go-to every time I need help. Story 26. 1 strong cup of tea and 10 minutes of silence. If that does not work, just start scrolling through your ex's Instagram. The stress will flush you out. Story 27. Sign up for a public speaking engagement and show up only semi-prepared just minutes before having to be on stage. Story 28. Soak a tablespoon of chia seeds in warm water and drink it. Alternatively, take peppermint oil capsules to soothe your bowels. Story 29. Apricots. Dried ones from the supermarket, soft for snacking and cooking, not completely dehydrated. The effect is not instant, but take care. They are very tasty and moreish. Do not eat too many, as you do not want the pendulum to swing too far the other way. Story 30. Fruits and vegetables are essential. People do not eat enough of them in general. In particular, grapes, raisins, and blueberries really help. For vegetables, leafy greens, other cruciferous ones, or corn are excellent choices. This is a great time of year for corn on the cob. Story 31. Right before this post, I saw a clip of that girl who soiled her pants at a college party. Perfect timing. Story 32. Anything greasy. A bratwurst, most are fattier due to shrinkflation, sausage patty, cheese sauce of some type like on cheese fries, a greasy burger, anything like that. Turnaround time for me is usually 20 minutes. Story 33. I drink a large glass of whey protein or bulking powder every day. It helps cleanse my system, and I have frequent bowel movements. I say this as someone who has suffered from this condition chronically. Story 34. Anything with sesame seeds is really helpful to me. Red dragon fruit is good too, probably because of the seeds. The normal kind is probably just as good, but I don't like the taste. Story 35. Persimmons, which are aggressive, or popcorn, which is gentle, work for me. Very few other remedies are effective. I can eat beans, take fiber supplements, drink plenty of water, exercise, take magnesium citrate, mix in fiber like Metamucil, eat fruit, or drink prune juice, but these rarely work. Story 36. Yogurt with active probiotics works well if you are regular with it. Takes a day or two to start working, so just stay consistent. Story 37. Beans may not be the quickest, but they work. A fiber supplement sent me straight to the bathroom a few years back. Metamucil, I think. Story 38. I had read that pineapple juice had anticoagulant properties, which I needed, so I bought a big can of Dole 100% pineapple juice and put it in the fridge at the office. I would go in, refill my cup, and drink it all day. Around 3:30 p.m., I searched how much you should drink in a day. The response was 8 ounces or less. At that point, I had probably consumed 24 ounces. For the next 4 hours, every 15 minutes, Old Faithful went off. Story 39. I occasionally get constipated and have found that going for a walk often helps to get things moving. Story 40. One time I added psyllium husk powder to my oatmeal for more fiber. I couldn't even finish the bowl entirely because it worked so quickly, and I had to use the bathroom immediately. Story 41. Coffee, beer, liquor, cigarette, more beer, another cigarette, late-night fast food. Works every time. Trust me. Story 42. I saw a person post in Reddit that they got constipated and were looking for help. I hope they find this post. Story 43. Liquid magnesium citrate is about $4 at Walgreens or Walmart, and you drink the bottle. In as little as 30 minutes to a few hours, you will be cleaned out guaranteed. Make sure you have enough toilet paper to weather the storm. Good luck. Story 44. Those small clear bottles of magnesium citrate are available at Walgreens, Walmart, or other stores for less than $5. Drinking the entire 8-ounce bottle can cause explosive diarrhea like you wouldn't believe. Story 45. Prune juice, polyethylene glycol, and bisacodyl. That fixed me the last time I was constipated badly. It was still not a pleasant experience giving birth to a watermelon, but I was able to pass the blockage and everything was fine afterward. If it is a common problem, take some polyethylene glycol daily until everything is moving normally. Then make sure you are getting enough fiber in your diet. Story 46. Green grapes can be pricey since they are apparently made of gold, but eating an entire bag will make you cleaner than my grandpa's Wildcat. Story 47. Strawberry milkshake from my local ice cream shop. Drink it at night and experience severe stomach discomfort in the morning. The only issue is that it causes staining on the underside of the toilet seat. Story 48. Apples do it for me. I know I will have a bowel movement after eating an apple. It makes me feel so in control of my body to control when I have a bowel movement. Story 49. Stool softeners help, I would imagine. The same goes for prune juice, apple juice, and getting plenty of fiber. Story 50. Depends. If I am blocked up, then fiber and juice, pulpy orange juice, applesauce, bran muffins, whatever Metamucil. If I am congested, spicy salty soup. If I have a severe blockage, panic. Story 51. If not severely constipated, use a stool softener, which works at different rates for different people. The day after taking the stool softener, take a 20 to 30-minute walk before breakfast, then have a cup of hot coffee with a light breakfast. Story 52. Step 1. Buy a milkshake from Sonic. Step 2. Drive back to your job at the feed store. Step 3. Drink the milkshake outside while working in 90-degree heat. Step 4. The thunder shall bring the rain. Story 53. Magnesium citrate works effectively, but it should not be used in cases of renal insufficiency or for long-term use. Story 54. I work as a nurse in psychiatry. Antipsychotic medications have the unfortunate side effect of chronic constipation. Obviously, hydration and prune juice are some of the non-pharmaceutical options to help. Also, exercise or even just general walking is very helpful. One of our long-term patients is on a combination of polyethylene glycol powder, Laxaday, Metamucil, bisacodyl tablets, and Senecot tablets, all daily. If this doesn't work, we can give as needed Laxaday once or lactulose or a fleet enema. His regimen of bowel medications is much more than what is typically needed for occasional constipation, but any one of these could help with general constipation. We have another patient who was prescribed oral mineral oil daily, in addition to Laxaday, Senecot, bisacodyl, and as needed magnesium hydroxide, which seemed to work very well for her. If I needed something to work within the day for myself, someone with only occasional constipation, I would probably choose 30 milliliters of lactulose. He usually works well. Just be prepared for some cramping. Story 55. Magnesium citrate works every time. Then you may want to increase the amount of cabbage that you eat. I prefer it in the form of sauerkraut. This way, I no longer need the magnesium. Story 56. No one said it has to be healthy. Snooze and coffee are the ultimate gate openers. Nicotine and caffeine in general. Sometimes I still miss the clockwork accuracy of that combination before I quit nicotine. Story 57. Water. Hot coffee. Water mixed with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with the mother. Mama, keep out. Hot tea. Just sitting and relaxing for a bit after having one of the drinks above. Story 58. Magnesium citrate induces bowel movements in 6 to 12 hours. Polyethylene glycol 3350, also known as Miralax, is gentler and takes 2 to 3 days to work. It is my personal choice since it does not have an unpleasant taste. There are also glycerin suppositories, which typically work in 15 to 30 minutes. I have tried them only once and cannot provide a clear opinion as I had taken other laxatives prior. Avoid stimulant suppositories as they can be harmful. I personally avoid all stimulant laxatives and use only osmotic laxatives and lubricants such as mineral oil. This advice is based on my experience managing opiate-induced constipation for 10 years. Story 59. An extra shot of espresso and heavy cream in your coffee will energize you, especially if you eat a bowl of fruit with it as well. Story 60. Moisten some toilet paper with warm water and gently tap your anus while it is still warm. Be careful not to burn yourself. This can stimulate peristalsis in your colon to help push out stool. Story 61. A few ways. Dragon fruit juice really cleans me out. However, lately it has been running during a workout. Every Monday I have a workout class, and when done with the running portion, I need to use the restroom urgently. Story 62. I've struggled a lot with constipation over the years. An overall healthy diet is the best solution. That said, the single most important thing is water. Lots of water. Stay hydrated and your bowels should be fine. A cup of coffee can do wonders too. Story 63. I heard something about sugar-free gummies. You only need to eat 2, and after a few minutes you end up regretting everything you have ever done. Story 64. I find a belly-snapping breath really helpful for stimulating the bowels. Basically, you exhale out your mouth in sharp, fast breaths, engaging your abdominal muscles to push the air up and out. I find it is best done leaning a bit forward, hands on a counter or upper thighs. You can do it standing, but slightly bent seems to help relax the area between breaths. Story 65. Existential crisis. Thinking about all the mistakes you have ever made in your life repeatedly. Story 66. Coffee and a big serving of applesauce works for me. From there, I elevate to Metamucil. If all else fails, milk of magnesia will do the job. Just do not plan on doing anything for the day. Story 67. I eat Thai food at 5 out of 5 on the spicy scale. It is like hitting the eject button in a fighter jet. Story 68. Indonesian food. I just spent 5 days in Bali and was pooping 3 times a day. Not diarrhea either, good poops. Some probiotic elements are present in their food. It helps that there were 2 to 3 buffets a day. Story 69. Brown cow 2 ounces milk of magnesia in 6 ounces prune juice. Microwave. This is a common nurse solution. Story 70. Many people have said prune juice the greatest of all time, but my go-to is an apple. 9 times out of 10, I am headed to the toilet within 10 minutes. Story 71. Taco Bell. I call it the reset button. Clears out every inch of your digestive tract so you can start fresh. Story 72. Once, when I was dumping out pickle juice after eating the last pickle, a friend of mine reacted with shock and said, "You're dumping that out? It's so good for you." I looked it up and found that people say it's good to drink pickle juice, especially after working out. I ended up drinking about 6 ounces before stopping. It was just too strong and sour. Within 20 minutes, I evacuated everything in my stomach, small intestines, large intestines, and colon. I am still scared to drink pickle juice to this day. Story 73. 3 times a year, I have to drink a 2-week supply of Miralax in 2 hours. I do not recommend this, but I also do not recommend colorectal cancer. Story 74. Miralax works to keep things moving. My daughter-in-law, a registered nurse, recommended it. Very gentle, but it does the job. Story 75. Metformin. I never had any issues when taking that medication. My blood sugar levels were generally okay because I cannot eat when in the hospital. Story 76. It used to be walking into Target, getting a breakfast sandwich and coffee from Starbucks, then walking to the back of the store. I instantly had to run to the front with my kids in tow. It has been ages since I have been in a Target, but I swear that worked every single time. Story 77. Warm milk, then eat some cucumbers with lime juice. This will sour your stomach quickly and help you have a bowel movement. As a bonus, add coffee if you are still not fully relieved. Story 78. I had issues after surgery and used prunes, hot prune juice with butter, and applesauce. I almost died after a dose of Dulcolax. 1 cap of Phillips milk of magnesia works very well. Story 79. If I ever have a problem, I just drink a bottle of Martinelli's apple and pear cider. A close second is regular apple cider, the real stuff, not the cheap apple juice. Story 80. I started taking berberine for cholesterol management a few months ago, and I've noticed that it has made my bowels very regular with easy-to-pass, healthy stools. I notice a change if I forget to take it for a couple of days. I also eat 3 prunes a day for good measure. I find a 15 to 20-minute walk in the morning and evening helps get things moving if they have become sluggish. When all else fails, going to Walmart or Real Canadian Superstore seems to trigger the urge to have a bowel movement, usually when I am the furthest distance from a bathroom. Story 81. Drinking 2 espresso shots and then drinking 500 to 700 milliliters of water immediately after. I had surgery 12 days ago and was very constipated. Then I remembered what a friend told me, and I was able to go instantly. I have also been eating fiber, but my body is still adjusting from surgery, I guess. Story 82. Magnesium citrate. If that does not work, an enema. Mineral oil enema is preferable, but saline works okay too if mineral oil is not available. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.